This Kangen water was introduced to me by my wife, who was suffering some back problems of her own. And what prompted me to try this water was the fact that over the past year or so, I've been having difficulty with my hands stiffening up. It was a form of spasm or carpal tunnel syndrome. With the Kangen water, after 2 weeks drinking this particular water, I started experiencing a tremendous amount of relief in both of my hands with loss of stiffness, especially in the morning. It certainly did help alleviate the discomfort and stiffness that I was experiencing in both of my hands, which I really, really needed in order to do the procedures that I do on a work basis, daily work basis. So the Kangen water has certainly done a remarkable thing as far as I'm concerned to my own personally, and I'm truly a believer in this water.
I was introduced to the Kangen water. I suffer from problems with my knee. The joint area gets extremely painful, and I also have compressed discs in my lower back that have caused severe pain. I drank the water for a couple weeks and noticed that my knee was not in pain anymore. There was no popping, and also it has somewhat relieved the pain in my lower back. I can stand longer, sit longer, and it's done wonders to be able to drink something as simple as water and feel this relief. Has been great.
I was diagnosed with microcalcifications in my left breast in one of my routine mammogram in 2003, and was told to repeat the mammogram through digital magnification to confirm the diagnosis. And yes, indeed, it was microcalcifications. I have like 2 or 3 on my left breast, and I have to repeat mammogram every 6 months. 2 diagnostic mammogram and 1 routine mammogram. That makes it 3 in a year. And I was introduced in 2006 of November on Kangen water, and I tried that for 2 months and a half, and I canceled my mammogram that was supposed to be scheduled 2 weeks after I had the Kangen water. I rescheduled it again. I canceled it and rescheduled it for the following month to give Kangen water time to work on my body. And this was in November of 2006, and January of 2007 I had finally went through with my mammogram, and the result came back normal. So after 3 years of abnormal mammogram with microcalcification on my left breast, it came back normal on January of 2007. I was thinking that maybe Kangen would help me, and so I did try, and I was convinced that Kangen water really helped me with my microcalcifications, and I don't know how to explain that, but it just happened. It did. That's the changes that I experienced with Kangen, and I think you should try it.
I'm so excited to be introduced to this Kangen water. I believe this is one of the greatest gifts that was given to me. It's truly a gift from God. And this Kangen water was introduced to me by a friend who was diagnosed with cancer. And I was so excited to see the changes in her life. I've been suffering for 9 years of stress eczema on my thumb, which usually occurred during my menstrual period every month. But since I was introduced on this Kangen and I was taking for 3 weeks, I was so amazed that I did not have my regular stress eczema. Usually I develop abscess on my thumb. It is very, very painful. Usually it's hard for me to do my normal chores. But on that week that I had my menstrual period and I took three weeks of Kangen water, I did not experience that painful experience on my thumb. And also with my mother who's been suffering from diabetes, hypertension, and enlargement of the heart, like January, she even wrote me a letter that she said that she's dying. So she's telling me that she's going to die, and she's asking forgiveness for what she missed in her life. But when I sent the machine to her, she started drinking water, and now her life is back. She's back to serving people again. She always go to church, and when she called me, she's crying because this is the greatest gift that I have given to her. I said to her, it's a gift from God that you have to share also. My mom, I'm so excited that we are sharing it to other people, because we can keep to ourselves the gift from God, so we have to share it to you. I have a 2-year-old daughter. She is still in for regular baby formula, because every time I try to switch her to a regular milk, whole vitamin D milk, she always get constipation. And when you see her crying, turning red because of pain, going to the bathroom, as a mother, it's so painful to see your daughter to do that. So we just skip her on regular baby formula. When I introduce her to this Kangen water, it changes everything. Now she can ask you, Kangen water, mommy, and she doesn't have any more constipation. Every day, regularly, she goes to the bathroom without any pain episode. And also to my grandmother, last January, she was given only 2 weeks to live because her heart was so weak already. She has to be on oxygen for 3 months. She has been oxygen dependent. But last week, when I called in the Philippines, that my grandmother is doing so well now, she doesn't need any more the oxygen. So I just grateful for this Kangen water to you, and it's truly a worth investment for my health, for my family's health, and for my friends' health.
As a young mother of 2, in 2006, May of 2006, I was heartbroken, and my family also, hearing the news that I had breast cancer. In 2006, I had surgery. I went through chemotherapy. Chemotherapy makes you really sick. And sometimes you feel like you're really, no hope. I think after 2 weeks of chemotherapy, in October, I was introduced by Dr. Nidea with this water, my family and I. They were talking about this water, that it would help, and that it has helped a lot of people who is undergoing problems, like different problems, that it might help me. When I start taking this Kangen water, it helps me tremendously. The tiredness, the fatigue, the aches on my muscles was diminished. I can smell, after chemotherapy, I can smell my output, my urine output, that it's really, really strong. And you can really, it's hard for you to smell it because it smells like hospital. The medicine is that strong. But when I start drinking Kangen water, the smell, you can really tell that the color of your urine changes, and the smell, you cannot really smell it anymore, the smell of the medicine. I started to be feeling much, much better every day just drinking through this Kangen water.
I see hope when I start seeing my wife feeling better and happier. This is truly a great investment for my family since health is so important.
Give her a kiss. Sa cheek lang. Yeah. Oh, did you hear me?
My name is Father Dacian Bluma. I am now 85, will be 85 years old this year. And I look at my life as being a real blessing. Now, at this stage in my life, I realize how God has been good to me and what a wonderful gift it has been. All the people I've met, all the things I've done, the places I've gone to. After my ordination, I went to Rome for my graduate studies and learned a great deal about the church. And it really brought me a great love and trust in the church. And then after that, I came back, and I was doing all kinds of work teaching in the seminary. And then I was administrator or provincial for our province for 6 years. And then after that, I was formation director of our young people. And after that, I went to Africa for 6 years and did some missionary work there. And came back and continued to work. So I really led a full life. And I feel very happy with it, grateful to God. Well, as it turns out, in the last 3 years, my health has been weakened somewhat. And about a year and a half ago, in October of 2005, I was diagnosed with cancer, colon cancer. And I had surgery. And all the cancer was removed, the surgeon said. But of course, there was some in the lymph nodes. And so he said, you know, unless you take some aggressive therapy, you're likely to have it return. I refused the therapy, knowing my age and knowing that I didn't want to become sick before I was sick. I wanted to have the chance really to continue what I was doing. And so at the present time, I'm a chaplain here of the Sisters of St. Francis of Assisi of Perpetual Adoration. So I had the cancer removed, but now, just March 26th, I received the results of a CAT scan. Tells me that cancer has returned, at this time, both in the stomach area and in the liver. And so that is what I'm dealing with now. I see a very marked difference in my ability to move around. I get tired very quickly. As much as I loved to celebrate Mass, I can no longer do that. I can't celebrate, but at any rate, I met Kathy, and I met some wonderful people, and her husband, and some wonderful people, and they introduced me to this wonderful water that I've been, Kangen water. I'm saying it is a purified water that has been specially prepared, and it is shown, in fact, that over the years it has had a tremendous effect on people. I want to be one of those, to stand up or sit down and tell you that I really want to speak in favor of that water and to say let's do everything we can not to add more chemicals to our healing process, but reducing ourselves to the simplicity of healthy, fundamental, and basic things in our life, like water. And I'd like to encourage those who are looking for opportunities for not only healing, but for hope. Please consider the possibility of this Kangen water. Some of the medication that helps me with regard to pain has side effects that cause constipation. And this had been a really worrisome thing for me. And I was wondering how I can get out of that vicious circle. I want some help, but in the meantime, I'm adding more problems. And so this water was a great help to me because it relieved and helped relieve me from that constipation and that sense of being bound up. And I felt that the water not only washed me clean, but as it does on the outside, but rather on the inside and in my own intestines and my own constipation. So I'm grateful for that, and I want to speak in favor of that as well.
Hello, my name's Joseph Yeager, and this is my wife, Lizelle. I'm a United States postal worker. I was diagnosed 7 years ago with heart disease and peripheral arterial disease. And 2 months ago we bought the Kangen water machine. I had trouble with my legs. The fluids would retain in my legs, and I had to wear braces.
Most of the time?
After 1 month of the Kangen water, I no longer wear the braces and my legs no longer fill with fluid. My wife, who suffers from migraine headaches.
If I have a monthly period. So when I start drinking for that, I did not feel migraine headache already. So thanks the Lord for that.
So now our whole family drinks Kangen water, including our friends. They come over for water.
Yeah.
To obtain more information, contact the person who gave you this DVD.